I apologize for my voice. Unfortunately, I caught a gnarly cold this week, and the only thing it took was my voice. So, bear with me. Give me some grace, as you good Lutherans do. Hello, everyone. My name is Annika. I am 18 years old. I have been on this praise team for 10 years now, this fall. I have been here longer than my mom, who is the director, by only 1 year. Enough about me. Let's get into our message today. So, Matthew 14:22 through 33 reads, "Immediately he made the disciples get into the boat and go ahead of him to the other side. When he dismissed the crowd, after dismissing, he went up to the mountain by himself to pray. Well into the night, when he was there alone, meanwhile the boat was already some distance from the land, battered by the waves, because the wind was against it. Jesus came towards them, walking on the sea very early in the morning. When the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified. 'It's a ghost,' they said, and they cried out in fear. Immediately Jesus spoke to them. 'Have courage, it is I. Do not be afraid.' 'Lord, if it is you,' Peter answered him, 'command me to come to you on the water.' He said, 'Come.' After climbing out of the boat, Peter started walking on the water and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the strength of the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, 'Lord, save me.' Immediately Jesus reached out his hand, caught hold of him, and said to him, 'Oh, you of little faith, why did you doubt?' When they got into the boat, the wind ceased. Then those in the boat worshipped him and said, 'Truly, you are the Son of God.'" This summer has been a season of trusting God, as I'm sure some of you adults in the audience can remember the age of turning 18 and all the changes that come with it. This summer, I have had a lot of cool experiences, including directing a show, getting to come here to preach for a second time, and going on a mission trip. 2 weeks ago, 15 people from our church, including some of us that are here today, packed up onto a bus to go to Wheeling, West Virginia. We got onto our very nice 40-passenger bus with LED lighting, new leather seats, and a whole bunch of mini TV screens, and drove it 14 hours it takes to get to Wheeling on the road. Here in Okoboji and back home in southeast Minnesota, it is absolutely beautiful. There are beautiful homes on the lake. At home we have rolling hills and rivers. The worst homes in our area, both here and there, looked like the best houses on the blocks where we stayed. On our first night, we slept in the floor of an old church in what used to be the sanctuary, with some dusty old carpet, as we heard screaming and sirens outside all night. We were there for a total of 5 days, where we served at several soup kitchens, food pantries, overgrown city areas, and more. The thing is, if things that week had gone as planned, we wouldn't have gotten to do any of those things that I just listed. Specifically in Matthew 14:28-31, it says, "Lord, if it is you," Peter answered him, "command me to come to you on the water." He said, "Come." After climbing out of the boat, Peter started walking on the water and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the strength of the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, "Lord, save me." In this passage, we see that Peter is very willing to trust Jesus initially, but he doubts as soon as he sees the wind. Even though he already began to walk on the water, with Jesus standing in front of him, fear caused him to stumble and caused him to begin to drown. With many things in life, we are very eager to trust God in the beginning. Going on a mission trip, teaching Sunday school, going to church, all things we sign up for with an eager heart until things begin to go wrong. A few months before we left for our trip, we had a missionary named Kristen Ostrom come and speak to us. She told us just how common it is for things to go wrong when you're serving on a mission trip. She gave us the wonderful words of, "That's just the way we like it," which quickly became our slogan for the entire adventure. On Sunday night, which was my 18th birthday, our 4 mom chaperones sent the kids downstairs to play games. We had just received the news that our team leaders had planned nothing for us in that week, and that they were going to have to do it all themselves. The prayer that they prayed went a little something like this: "God, please let us be the answer to the prayer that someone is praying tonight. Place our steps and put us exactly where we need to be." The next few days, God most definitely answered our prayer. Our first day, we spent 6 hours cleaning brush at a church with a very elderly population. The only 2 church members that were there to help us were in their late 70s, and without our help, those 2 would have done the entire project on their own. Our next day, half of our group worked at a soup kitchen, and some of our members found a young girl who couldn't afford school supplies. The next day, we came back with her very own backpack full of everything that she needed. The other half of our groups did sorted clothing at YSS, which stands for Youth Social Services. It is a program that provides basic needs to the homeless, foster and underserved families and kids in the area of West Virginia. The next day, we all helped at another soup kitchen and food pantry, serving about 100 people, and we packed a bunch of meal kits to send with low-income households. Then we made our way into a small Catholic daycare in as they switched pastors so that they wouldn't get stung by bees. Another day, we spent helping at just another soup kitchen and pantry, in which we gave weekly food boxes to low-income families. We got to play music for a small church, the song Jesus Strong and Kind and His Mercy More that you heard earlier. And this church welcomed us with open arms and a potluck afterwards. I don't say all of this to show our accomplishments, but to show God's will. If we hadn't trusted God with everything, we would have never gotten to have the impact that we did in such a short amount of time. Sunday night, we were a bunch of Peters, originally eager to listen to God's command, but when the waves grew bigger in the storm, we stumbled in fear. When we place our trust in the Lord, we too can walk on the water. Thank you.